a presentation of my 2023 trip to Bogota, Colombia by Alison Horstman. On this map you can see that Colombia shares a border with 5 different countries: Panama, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, and Ecuador. On the northwest coast of Colombia you have the Caribbean Sea, and on the southwest coast of Colombia you have the Pacific Ocean. The exchange rate of Colombian pesos to US dollars is approximately 4,000 Colombian pesos to 1 US dollar. So the 100,000 peso bill seen here is worth about 25 US dollars. A 10-minute Uber ride is approximately 6,000 pesos, which is under $2. The exchange rate of Colombian pesos to US dollars is approximately 4,000 Colombian pesos to $1. So the 100,000 peso bill seen here is worth about 25 US dollars. A 10-minute Uber ride is approximately 6,000 pesos, which is under $2. The purpose of my trip to Bogota was to volunteer teach at El Camino Academy. El Camino Academy, also known as ECA, is an interdenominational Christian school founded in 1980 in the city of Bogota, Colombia. It serves foreign missionary families and other Christian families. All graduating students that complete the requirements receive both an American and a Colombian high school diploma. Students are taught in English all day long with the exception of 1 hour of Spanish instruction. Seen here is the director of the school, Beth Afanador, along with her husband, Rafael Afanador. Beth is a graduate of Wheaton College, Wheaton, Illinois. Here, looking out from the entrance of the school, you see a beautiful view of the Andean Mountains. Here is the outside view of the first apartment complex I lived in. I lived with ECA second grade teacher Ana Bermudez and her 2 children, Suriel and Elias. Elias is the Spanish name for Elijah. The apartment was very lovely. The washing machines are housed in the kitchen. Clothes are hung to dry. My bedroom was very comfortable. Each apartment complex was gated and supervised by security guards. There were beautiful flowers growing in each complex. San Pedro Plaza was a stone's throw from the apartment. San Pedro Plaza had many restaurants and shops to visit. Suriel gave me my first tour of San Pedro Plaza. My breakfast one morning at Coffee Pan: huevos revueltos con salchichas, pan y café con leche. Delicioso. 2 beautiful ladies from El Camino Academy. Rose on the left is assistant to the director, Beth Afanador, and Shauna is the admissions director. They invited me to their church, Gracia y Amor, and then afterwards they served me a delicious lunch. Here is a bici taxi. Most times a bici taxi is for short distance travel and it costs around $1. I took a bici taxi one time. It helped cut a 45-minute walk to church into a 30-minute walk. I did walk a lot each day. I liked the walking. It helped incorporate exercise into my daily routine. The hard part was walking to the apartment and then having to go up 3 flights of stairs. My sister Bonnie said, "Oh, Allie, you are going to be so strong." That message kept playing in my thoughts as I walked with my heavy backpack on my back on the sidewalks in Bogota. This is the pedestrian bridge that I walked over each morning to get to the bus stop. From the top of the bridge, I had a good view of the mountainside residential area called La Mariposa. I was always the first person to arrive at the bus stop. I arrived 10 to 15 minutes early each day, before 6 a.m. At El Camino Academy, I had a place in the Learning Center with Patti, Camila, and Angela. The title I was given by the school administrators was ESL Specialist. The title I gave myself was ESL Support Teacher. I supported grades pre-K through 4th. I pulled small groups of these students from class to the Learning Center. I gave these students reading instruction in English. Patti, Camila, and Angela were very helpful and kind to me during my time at El Camino Academy. I made friends with the custodians at El Camino. Here are the custodians Isabella, Margot, Marta, and Rosario. They gave me hugs and smiles every day. Here is Martha in the kitchen. Teachers met in the kitchen each morning to get their coffee, or in my case, hot tea. On my days off, I would head to the library. I always had my heavy backpack with me. My books and my laptop made it heavy. It was a 45-minute walk to the library, but I didn't mind. One of the first words I learned here in Bogota was atajo. That means shortcut. This is a shortcut to the library. After the shortcut, the path to the library was very nice. Bogota has a good climate for growing hydrangeas. I loved the manicured landscaping on the roadside. It was a real treat to see the bird of paradise on one of my walks. Daniel always has geraniums growing at home, but this geranium plant is 4 times the size of our geraniums. It's a common sight to see a bicycle like this on the roads of Bogota, with a basket in front and a basket in back. It's ready for deliveries. Trucks are few and far between on the streets of Bogota, so it was nice to see this good-looking Chevrolet truck. Here we are in the courtyard outside of the library. The library is named after a Colombian billionaire. His name is Julio Mario Santo Domingo. The library is beautiful inside and out. It was fun looking at a small art exhibit inside the library. There are beautiful green spaces outside of the library. There are many small grocery stores in Bogota. In this grocery store, I found the section that holds the bread type called arepa. Arepas are thicker than tortillas. They are made out of corn, and they remind me of grits. Here is the very popular Colombian fruit, papaya. I have enjoyed eating papaya here in Colombia. My driver and friend, Leo, taught me a very popular Colombian expression, no dar papaya. This means don't give a thief easy opportunity to rob you. The grocery stores that I visited were all well stocked and well organized. The eggs are not refrigerated in the stores. Here you see quail eggs and chicken eggs. A church friend told me eggs do not need to be refrigerated if they have not been washed. Here on the bottom shelves is the milk. The milk also is not refrigerated in the stores. Another of the first words I learned in Bogota is arándanos. Arándanos is the word for blueberries. Blueberries are grown locally, and they are a big export crop for Colombia. Every school day, my breakfast was yogurt and fresh blueberries. The blueberries were especially delicious. Big bags of rice for sale. Almost every meal includes a serving of rice. It's common to serve rice and potatoes in the same meal. The avocados are large and delicious. The carrots are short and fat and very delicious. I was surprised to find persimmons in the produce section. This reminded me of my mother-in-law, Ruth, and her persimmon pudding. On one school holiday, I took a trip with my driver and friend, Leopoldo Zapata, to the salt mines of Zipaquirá. The Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá is an underground Roman Catholic church built within the tunnels of a salt mine, 660 feet underground. It is a tourist destination and a place of pilgrimage in the country. The temple at the bottom has 3 sections representing the birth, life, and death of Jesus. The icons, ornaments, and architectural details are hand-carved in the rock. Some marble sculptures are included. The cathedral is considered one of the most notable achievements of Colombian architecture, being described as a jewel of modern architecture. The cathedral is a functioning church that receives as many as 3,000 visitors on Sundays, but it has no bishop and therefore no official status as a cathedral in Catholicism. Here's my friend and driver, Leopoldo Zapata. He loves all kinds of coffee, specialty coffee, and his hope one day is to have a specialty coffee shop. During my time at El Camino Academy, a group of high school teachers and students went on a mission trip to northern India. They walked through the countryside villages talking to the people about Jesus. This man was one of the few Christians they met. His name is Martin. When the students and teachers returned to Colombia, they were excited to talk about their experiences of sharing the good news of Jesus with the people they met. This is Jennifer. She edits all the ECA publications. She was a good friend to me during my time in Bogota. The last 2 weeks of my stay in Bogota, I lived in Jennifer's apartment. Here is a view of Jennifer's kitchen, and again, the washing machine is housed in the kitchen of the apartment. So after you wash your clothes, you take them to Jen's back room, and you can hang the clothes to dry. Here's another view of Jen's kitchen. It is very well organized and easy to use. Jen has a lovely and comfortable apartment. The bedroom is lovely and very comfortable. Here you can see the residential area called La Mariposa. Beth's husband, Rafa Afanador, is the founder of Hogar de Paz. This foundation sponsors 3 charity daycares in Bogota. One of the daycares is up on the mountainside in La Mariposa. I had the opportunity to visit this daycare and another daycare. This area is less safe than the area I was living in or the school that I was usually going to, but I still wanted to visit. I was with a daycare teacher throughout my visit. This is Grace. She's named after Grace Kelly. She is the teacher at one of the daycare centers. She took good care of me during my visit. Here is Grace again. Then Nubia is the teacher of the daycare center up on the mountainside. She took me, along with her 2 wonderful granddaughters, up the mountain to the afternoon daycare center. Patti, another teacher, is on the right. Here are the students of the morning daycare center. I was able to share some of my teaching materials and puzzles with this group of students. Seen here is Moises. I love his focused look as he works on the homemade cereal box panel puzzle I brought. This is the afternoon daycare center, which is located high up on the mountainside. Again, the students really enjoyed the homemade puzzles. Here I am at the end of the day in the home of beautiful teacher Grace. Grace has invited me to come back to visit the daycare whenever I can. Many of the children that go to the charity daycares are children of rubbish recyclers. I observed these recyclers on the streets of Bogota, appearing at nightfall or in the early morning, dragging heavy carts from dustbin to dustbin in the affluent northern suburbs of the Colombian capital, Bogota. That is the daily task of around 25,000 rubbish recyclers. Today, waste pickers or rubbish recyclers are now formally considered to be waste collection service providers. This has greatly improved the working conditions of the recycler. In the past, recyclers may have been detained and stopped from working by police. Cars may have run over their carts full of recyclables. Passers-by may have hurled offensive comments. But today, the workday is a lot calmer. People are valuing the work of the recycler, and they see that this job is just like any other. Finally, after a month and a half in Bogota, Colombia, it was time to say goodbye and return to my home in Houston, Texas. My good friend and driver, Leopoldo, gave me a wonderful send-off. Adios, Bogota. Que chévere. No dar papaya. Me encanta tus arándanos.